All right, we're going to continue here in the book of fasting, and inshallah, our plan here is to finish this book even after Ramadan, and then go back, inshallah, to the book of prayer. And so we are here. Residence at dawn. What does that refer to? It's like I just dropped you into the water. Residence at dawn in the book of fasting. What does this refer to? This refers to when it's obligatory on you to fast, or obligatory. That you have this condition, residence at dawn. That means you're not a traveler at dawn. You're not a traveler when the dawn came in. So according to that then, and this is the Shafi'i school, if you are a resident at dawn and then you traveled, then you have to complete the fast. These words are enough to mean all of that. So it says, but if at dawn one were a traveler of a long permissible journey, a journey that permits shortening the fourfold prayers, that's called masafatul qasr, shortening distance. The distance that allows you to shorten the 4 rakat prayers. He may break the fast, even if he intended at night, because he's a traveler. The traveler is permitted to break the fast. And without any fear of harm. And also that means by any means of breaking a fast, that's permissible. By any permissible means of breaking the fast. Because the meaning here is not obligatory on in the fast. Because the facilitating reason is existent. Meaning the travel itself. That's the reason. It is present. It's the reason for the facility, for the easier rule. It exists, so the permission exists. If one is unharmed by fasting, but fears weakness, and it were a travel for Hajj or battle, then breaking is better. That means he was a traveler at dawn. And we're talking about obligatory fast here, because sunnah fast, you can break it. The best is to fast if unharmed by traveling, or else breaking is better if harmed by traveling, yani while traveling and fasting. If the traveler became a resident, or the sick were cured while fasting, the traveler became a resident while fasting, or the sick was cured while fasting, it is forbidden to break, according to what is correct, because the reason that permits breaking is gone. So we have a footnote here. Even if he intended at night and without any fear of harm. Footnote. The harm is a restriction only in reference to the sick person, not the traveler. The sick person breaks his fast because of harm. The traveler does not break his fast because of harm. Therefore, the expression of al-ghazi, if both of them are harmed, is not a condition. Al-Ghazi is one of the explainers of Abu Shuja'. So he said in there, if both of them are harmed, if the sick person is harmed and if the traveler is harmed. So that's not accurate. Only if the sick person is harmed, not the traveler. All right. Now that last one we just covered was what? It was a condition. A condition. A condition for what? A condition for the integral. What's the integral here? The person, the sa'im. We're taking this saying that there are 4 integrals for fasting. First one is the sa'im. Integral has its own conditions. Being Muslim, mental discerning, and puberty for the obligatory fast. And the ability to fast. And residence at dawn. Okay, we're done with that. Now the next integral. A heart's intention. A heart's intention. Why we mention the heart? It is not a condition to utter the intention with the tongue. And there is no difference in opinion about that. However, it is recommended to utter the intention with the tongue because the tongue helps the heart be attentive. Yes, that's true. A heart's intention, because of the hadith, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, the deeds are by the intention. Due to the difficulty of pinpointing the exact moment of dawn, which would be when the worship starts. That's the original rule, to intend at the moment of starting the worship. But in this case, that moment is too difficult to pinpoint. One is allowed and, in fact, obligated to intend before commencement. If it's a sunnah fast, he's allowed to intend at night. And he can still intend in the morning too for the sunnah fast if he didn't do something to break the fast. So obligatory fast, he must intend at night. So one is intending before commencement in the case of fasting. Footnote: eating, drinking, sleeping, and sexual intercourse at night after making the intention have no effect on the validity of the fasting. They have no effect on the validity of the fasting that will take place starting at dawn. Yani, you make your intention and do anything that breaks a fast doesn't break your intention, and therefore does not affect your fast. Unlike the other worships, because the other worships you're going to make the intention at the time of starting. What's the time for wudu? Intention, when washing the face. What's the time for ghusl? Intention, when the water touches the body. What's the time for zakat? Intention, when you separate your money. What's the time for hajj? Intention, during the months of hajj, when the ihram is valid. What's the time for umrah? Intention, anytime when you want to make umrah, then you make the intention to enter into the state of ihram. But learn first, don't do that without learning. So, unlike other worships, you're going to intend before commencement for fasting, for obligatory fasting. The intention's valid time depends on the fast being obligatory or not. So this refers to what I was just telling you. If it's obligatory, it must be at night. If it's sunnah, can still be in the morning if you haven't done something that breaks a fast. When we say if it's obligatory, it's clear for you, inshallah, that this word is broader than Ramadan. If it is obligatory, that's broader than Ramadan. So that sentence shouldn't mean to you, if it's Ramadan fasting, so the intention's valid time depends on the fast being obligatory or not. So, if it is obligatory, he must not merely intend an obligatory fast. He must not merely intend an obligatory fast. You have an obligatory fast. What kind of obligatory fast? There's different kinds of obligatory fasts. So since there's different kinds of obligatory fasts, then it's not enough for you only to intend an obligatory fast. Just that only is not enough. Unless you don't know the reason for it. You forgot. You know you have an obligatory fast on you. You forgot why. Then it's going to be enough for you to intend an obligatory fast, merely. Or else you must specify Ramadan, or fulfilling a vow, or fulfilling an expiation, or a makeup. So these are obligatory fastings here. Ramadan, fulfilling a vow, a pledge. You bound yourself to fast, a sunnah fast. Therefore became obligatory on you. There's no way for you to get out of it. You must do it. That's called nadhr. Then it became obligatory on you, so you must intend at night. Or an expiation. Expiation like for killing someone, or for breaking your swear, or for another reason. Breaking the swear, different from the vow. Vow is nadhr. Swear is halif, or qasam, or yameen. What's the difference between those? Let me mention it for you. So this is a digression here. Since we mentioned that there's fasting for fulfilling a vow, or fasting for an expiation like breaking a swear. What do those mean? So the vow is when you say lillahi alayya katha. It means for the sake of Allah, I make a pledge to do such and such sunnah thing, like to give a charity, or to pray, or to fast, or to wear a turban, or to wear niqab, or something that's sunnah, rewardable, not already obligatory, not haram, not makruh. Then, if you did a valid vow, you must fulfill it. There's no way out of it. It becomes obligatory on you. You can't break it. The swear is like when you say, Wallahi, I will do such and such. I swear to God, I will do such and such. Or I swear to God, I won't do such and such. Now, this one, you are allowed to break it, but then you'd be obligated to fulfill an expiation. The expiation for breaking the swear. That could be fasting. So that's its own chapter. The vow and the swear, they have their own chapter. Yes. They have their own yani kitab, their own book, and each one has its own chapter there in that book. So fulfilling a vow, that would be an obligatory fast, must intend at night. Or for fulfilling an expiation, like for killing someone, or for breaking the swear, or for something else, then that's an obligatory fast. So you must intend at night. Or a makeup. So that's obligatory. So you must intend at night. Only at night. Because of the hadith of the four. من لم يجمع الصيام قبل الفجر فلا صيام له. There is no fasting for anyone who was not determined to fast before the dawn. MashaAllah. Yes. Or you could put the word decided. There's no fasting for anyone who has not decided to fast before dawn. Without doubting one's intention, and then remembering even after the passage of most of the day, and according to our Shaykh, even after sunset is not invalid. Okay. What if a person doubted about his intention? He's in the daytime and he's doubting if he made his intention at nighttime. If he remembers his intention at any time during the day, his fast is valid. So what's going to be his scenario? Scenario is going to be he still has to refrain during Ramadan. So he's not going to do something that breaks the fast anyway. If he remembers before the sun goes down, then his fast is valid. And according to our Shaykh, even if he remembers after Maghrib that he did actually make his intention, then his fast is valid. Without doubting if dawn came in. You can't make your intention if you're doubting if the dawn came in, for then his intention is too weak. If someone were unsure about the next day being the first of Ramadan, and then he says, if tomorrow is Ramadan, I will fast, this is insufficient because it is not a firm intention. Okay. So what we have here is two examples of a weak intention. Weak intention is not valid intention. First example is what's right here. A person is doubting if dawn came in. He's saying, I don't know if Fajr's in or not. I intend to fast. So this is not a valid intention. Or what? Or he's saying, is tomorrow Ramadan or not? If it is, I intend to fast. So in both these cases, this is not valid because the intention is too weak. It is against the hadith. لا تقدموا رمضان بيوم ولا يومين صوموا لرؤيته وأفطروا لرؤيته. Do not start fasting a day or two before Ramadan. Fast by sighting the crescent and terminate the month by sighting the crescent. Yani terminate the fast by sighting the crescent. وأفطروا. Terminate the fast. لا تقدموا رمضان بيوم ولا يومين. Do not start fasting a day or two before Ramadan. Or Do not start fasting Ramadan a day or two before or a day or two ahead. Sumu liru'yatihi. Fast by sighting it, the crescent. Wa aftiru liru'yatihi. And terminate the fast by sighting it. Yani, commence the fast by sighting it and terminate the fast by sighting it, etc. Till the end of that hadith. There's more to the hadith. The point of bringing this amount of the hadith only is to prove that you cannot start fasting ahead of time. The intention is too weak. Yes, question.
Sheikh Raed, before you go further, what
Yes.
was you said? Yamin, Shimal. What was that? I understood everything what you said, but that words, why? What is that?
Yameen is a swear.
Okay. And the other one, Shimal is. Did you say?
No shimal. I don't think I mentioned that.
What did you say? Something three words. Yamin.
Halif.
Okay, Halif. What is that?
That's swear also.
Okay.
And qasam is also a swear.
Adi, barakallah fikum.
Ameen wa fikum. If one ate a pre-dawn meal to fast, wait, someone said they had a question here. Yes, you have a question. If one ate a pre-dawn meal to fast, yani, for that purpose, that means he remembered the fast. So that's why he ate something. Or drank to prevent thirst during the day. That means he remembers the fast. See how you need to know how to interpret things. When someone says something to you, what does that mean? Or he refrained from a mufattir for fear of the dawn. For fear of the dawn, that means he remembered the fast. Then this is an intention. Or even if fasting the obligation of Ramadan crosses his mind. So, and then he accepts that. He remembers it just, he has fast. And then, so he say, yeah, I'm going to fast. I have to fast tomorrow. Oh yeah, I got to fast tomorrow, for example. That's valid. Changing the intention at night invalidates the intention. But merely deciding to break after starting does not. Changing the intention at night invalidates the intention. It means the intention. Doesn't mean fast. It here doesn't mean the fast invalidates the fast. It means the intention. Pronoun goes back to the closest thing, usually. Because it's at nighttime, so he didn't start fasting yet. So it doesn't mean it validates the fast. Changing the intention at night invalidates it. But merely deciding to break after starting does not invalidate the fast. So you'll be fasting during the daytime. And if a person said, all right, I'm going to stop fasting right now, and then he didn't do anything to break the fast, his fast is still valid. So in this way, fasting is different from the prayer. Because if you were performing your prayer and you said, now I'm stopping my prayer, your prayer is invalidated. And also the same thing for your faith. If you said, now I'm going to stop being a Muslim, then you stop being a Muslim right then and there. But if you're fasting and you said, now I'm stopping my fast, and you didn't do anything to break a fast, your fast is still valid. Apostasy at night after intending requires returning to Islam and remaking the intention. Apostasy at night after intending, one intended, then committed apostasy. This requires not merely remaking the intention, most importantly, requires returning to Islam and then remaking the intention. The minimum valid intention for fasting Ramadan is what means, I intend to fast the obligation of Ramadan tomorrow. So what means that? This is the meaning. So we just saw many examples actually. Maybe in the mind of someone, those examples are even less than this. I intend to fast the obligation of Ramadan tomorrow. We said, if a person said, oh, you have to fast tomorrow, or he was about to do something, then he stopped, said maybe it's almost dawn. So all of that is valid. Let's see this footnote here. It is not a condition to remember that Ramadan is an obligation when intending. To remember that Ramadan is an obligation. It's not a condition to remember that Ramadan is an obligation. So if one intends to fast the next day of Ramadan or the like, this is sufficient because it means he's intending the obligation. It is not a condition to mention the word tomorrow, nor to say for the sake of Allah. And this is not a negation that he must have the good intention for the sake of Allah to get the reward. So this sentence here, I intend to fast the obligation of Ramadan tomorrow. It's written here, just the minimum valid intention. So why is this like this here? Because that's what was taken. So we're going to put it just like that. That's manqul. That's how it's documented. I translated what's documented. The excellent intention in the heart is, I intend to fast tomorrow to fulfill the obligation of Ramadan this year for the sake of Allah. I intend to fast tomorrow to fulfill the obligation of Ramadan this year for the sake of Allah. That's the excellent intention. One must have an intention for every day. Footnote, is it not obvious that one invalid day of fasting does not invalidate the other days? Isn't it obvious that one invalid day of fasting does not invalidate the other days? If you invalidated one day of your fasting, would this invalidate the other days? No. So what does that prove? That proves that they're independent. Each one is an independent unit. So that's to argue to say you have to make the intention every night. The Shafi'i school is that it's not enough to make the intention on the first night for the whole month, because each fast is an independent unit. Furthermore, that which terminates the fast comes in between two different days of fasting. You had iftar. Therefore, each day needs its own intention, like two prayers. One prayer is ended by the salam. Just like you ended your fast by iftar, you end your prayer by the salam. And thus the next prayer needs its own intention. So also the next fast needs its own intention. So one must have an intention for every day, not on the first night for the entire month, as opposed to the Maliki school, because every day is an independent worship. If not, if the fast is not obligatory, then one can intend without specifying which sunnah it is. One can intend to fast a sunnah without specifying in his heart which sunnah it is. Meaning it's enough for him just to intend to fast the sunnah before the sun declines westward from its zenith. Before Dhuhr comes in. If he did not engage in a mufattir, in a fast breaker. So see how fiqh branches. What do we have here? Number 2 is the heart's intention. We have here, the intention's valid time depends on the fast being obligatory or not. So that's a setup for you to get your mind ready to branch. This means a fork is coming. So if you want to understand fiqh, you need to be able to follow the branches. The intention's valid time depends on the fast being obligatory or not. If so, then such and such. If not, then such and such. So that's how that outline there is arranged. That's called an outline. Any question?
Sheikh, right?
Yes?
How about if one eats suhoor? It is also considered as an intention, right?
Yes?
Okay, barakallah fikum.
Ameen wa fikum. I did mention that.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering. This one is so detailed. I haven't heard that one. That's why I'm asking.
Okay. Where is it here? Bismillah. Here. If one ate a pre-dawn meal to fast.
Yes, right. Barakallah fikum.
Ameen wa fikum. So, if he did not engage in any mufattir, then for sunnah fast, he can make his intention up until zenith. Because the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would sometimes ask his wives during the daytime in the morning if there were any food. If they would reply in the negative, he would fast. So that proves you can make your intention in the daytime, in the morning, for a sunnah fast. And for the Hanafis, that goes for obligatory fast too. Now the third integral, a daytime that accepts fasting. This is due to the saying of Allah, وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ ثُمَّ أَتِمُّوا الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. Eat and drink until the dawn appears. Then complete the fast until the night. So we covered this already. This proves that fasting is during daytime only. Eat and drink until the dawn appears. That means at nighttime. Then complete the fast until the nighttime. So the nighttime is not for fasting. This proves that fasting is done during daytime. And we are saying the daytime itself is an integral for the fast. In some copies of Abu Shuja', there is a fifth obligation, generally knowing the dawn and the sunset. Generally knowing the dawn and the sunset. According to some copies of Abu Shuja', there is a fifth obligation, generally knowing the dawn and the sunset. Because an intention after the break of dawn is invalid. An intention after the break of dawn is invalid. So if an intention after the break of dawn is invalid, that means you need to know, generally, the dawn, the time of dawn. If you didn't know the time of dawn and you made an intention after dawn, your fast is invalid. And eating while believing that the night settled in, just to discover that it did not, you thought Maghrib came in and it did not, this is invalid. You invalidated your fast and it must be remade. An intention after the break of dawn is invalid, and eating after dawn came in thinking that it didn't come in yet, just to discover that it did, this means your fast is invalid. The most precautious is for the Sa'im, the fasting person, to refrain from eating until certain of sunset. Yes, and we did mention two cases here though. When is it sunnah to rush to break the fast? And when is it not sunnah to rush to break the fast? Meaning you could break your fast, but it's not sunnah to rush. May Allah answer the dua of who answers these questions properly. So first question, with a 5 count. When is it sunnah to rush to break the fast?
To rush to break the fast when you are 100% sure that the sun is set, then you have to break it. It's sunnah to break it as fast as possible.
That's correct answer. Barakallahu feekum.
What was it? The next one?
The next question is, when is it not sunnah to rush to break the fast, but you can break your fast?
I don't know that one.
Not sunnah to rush to break the fast, but you can break your fast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you're confident that Maghrib came in, you can break your fast when you're confident that Maghrib came in. But it's not sunnah to rush. So confident is less than 100%. How are you going to be confident? By ijtihad. So by your ijtihad, Maghrib came in. Or another way you'll be confident also. Doesn't have to be by ijtihad. Could be by norm. Like the example we learned about Fajr. Like you have a rooster that crows every Fajr, for example. So you prayed Fajr like that. Then sunnah for the person, or it's not sunnah for the person to rush. Barakallahu feekum. May Allah Ta'ala grant you an accepted dua. Ameen. Okay. Let's stop here. And we'll talk about these daytimes. Like that's a lot of information coming actually. And names. So those names might weigh your mind down a little bit. Any question?